Hey everyone, welcome back to the range. My name is Matt, also known as the King of Armor Destruction, the Armor Wizard. Zap, I have a body armor demo today. Now, in full transparency, I got this Mira Safety Level 4 plate from Bulletproof Zone. They're a large online distributor of different types of body armor. I do have an affiliate link with them and I think a discount code on a couple of their products. So if you're looking for a way to say thank you to the channel for this test, that is a means of sending money my way. Our plate for destruction today, as I mentioned, is our Mira Safety Level 4 single curve Alumina plate. This particular plate is approximately 900 thousandths thick, or 22.87 millimeters. It weighs 5 pounds, 15.5 ounces, or 2.707 kilograms. As I mentioned, it is single curve, meaning that we have this one rolling curve across the side here. We don't have any more curves anywhere else. Typically, this is a lot more comfortable than a flat plate, but depending on your body type, multi-curve plates are a lot better. Now, if this is the first time you're viewing my YouTube channel, I do all my body armor demos completely different than everyone else on YouTube. Kind of think of me like a Consumer Reports. I want to remain a neutral party that's out here testing worst case scenarios so that you guys can spend your money wisely and buy exactly what you're looking for, or buy the best if that's what you're looking for. I try to stick to as many NIJ constants as possible out here in my backyard. Sometimes that happens and sometimes I make mistakes. Since this is rifle armor, we shoot at 45 feet. We also shoot at 0 degrees, again, because that is worst case scenario. Now, I only have one of these plates, and in NIJ official testing for level 4, they're only going to shoot one round of M2 AP center of mass at 2880 feet per second of that plate, and they would move on to another one. Since we only have the one, we're going to try to place at least 5 to maybe 8 hits on this plate, depending on how well it's constructed. Since this plate employs a ceramic strike face per the NIJ, we've gone ahead and dropped it on its face 2 times as a preconditioning test. I do detect a little bit of drop face foam on here, and afterwards I mark a DT indicating that we've done the drop test, and a TQ meaning that we did a torque test on here. That's where we grab the opposing edges and we apply force and we listen for any cracking. And because I've seen this plate demoed before, I know that it is a alumina tile array plate, so we're not going to generally hear any cracking. Now, you'll note this outer ring that I drew on here with a Sharpie. This plate does not employ a complete edge-to-edge strike face, meaning for this 10x12 model, there is a non-ballistic rated material that makes up this outer edge, and inside here is our ceramic. That's typically why we see some of these plates being sub 6 pounds, because they don't have 10x12 of ceramic coverage. We also use a chronograph whenever possible, a Pro Chrono Pal Digital DLX, because we need to know the velocity of that bullet as it leaves the barrel. There are certain ways that users can either knowingly or unknowingly shoot slower or faster rounds, or the complete wrong rounds at our plates, and give you guys false expectations of performance. We also use a giant clay briefcase filled with Roma Plastilina #1 clay that acts as our compressible media to put the body armor up against, and it's the same clay that the NIJ uses, except out here at my range I can't heat it up and keep it at that temperature and then certify it by dropping a ball on it. So we're just looking at a representation of what backface could be. If we see something like 60 millimeters in my clay, an official NIJ clay, that would be failing. Put a spreadsheet here at the beginning and the end, and we kind of foreshadow all the threats that we're going to shoot at it. We mark our penetrations and our velocity, and we do a tear down at the end so we can kind of look at the guts of our plates and validate any of the claims that the manufacturers have made. Finally, I'd like to remind everyone that I am not an NIJ lab, so if you see a threat penetrate over here or a threat stop, you should always defer to the manufacturer to produce accredited lab results for that plate. And on the flip side, if you're the manufacturer and you see me stop some weird round going at an insane velocity, you should send that off and have that added as a special rifle threat to your panel. Now, these particular plates from Mira Safety are not NIJ certified. That means that there's this giant list that the NIJ has, and the company pays a bunch of money to prove out the logistics of the raw material manufacture of their plate, and I think it's like anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000 to $40,000 per SKU to have it certified. And after it's done all that and the NIJ places that check mark on there, you can say the product is certified. There's a lot of back and forth in fancy lingo that's used online, and sometimes a company will say the product is NIJ certified or NIJ compliant or tested in accordance with this particular threat. And what that means is the company will send that plate off to one of the NIJ accredited labs and have them shoot a specific threat at that plate to validate whether that design can actually stop it. So if you see a company advertising that their products are NIJ certified, there is a link in the description below that you can go to the NIJ compliance list and look up that company to see if they have any listed SKUs. You'll note that a lot of manufacturers such as R.A.N.G.E or R.A.N.G.E or HESCO private label many of their plates for other companies to sell. Since we only have the one plate of this, we're going to have to be very brief in what we're going to test at it, but since it's level 4, I figured it's only natural that we shoot the level 4 thread at it. This is our M2 armor piercing 163, 165 grain full metal jacket with a very hard and long steel core. We have these loaded in 300 Winchester Magnum because we need to meet the velocity spec of 2880 feet per second. I got new brass, my load was off. These could be close, hopefully they're not too over. This is a 24-inch TC compass with a Yankee Hill Phantom M2 up front. I'll have to check those shots, but that last shot, 2840, that was 10 feet per second under the max variance. We're seeing some destruction of this plate very easily. This is a rectangle tile array. Doesn't appear to be the greatest construction, so it's going to fall apart rather quickly. But in the NIJ's eyes, this shot right here is the only one that technically matters, and it probably should have been right there. Place those bets in the comments below. Oh, no pass-through, folks. You can see the dimples are getting worse on those two shots, but we stopped them. We're using Alumina. That is our white ceramic. We may not be able to take too many shots on this plate before we start getting penetrations, but we'll see what we can do. As far as our back face goes, clay is warm. That first shot, right around 18 millimeters. The second shot, right around 50 based on that curvature. And then this guy right here, kind of hard to say. I need to get like a device that goes across the front, but that was right around 36 millimeters. So again, that first shot passing, that's all it's got to do. This plate has certainly seen better days. I would equate it to other import plates. If Mira claims that they build this in the United States, that's certainly on them to prove that they do. I don't want to get into that, but we're going to shoot some 5.56 against this. We've got M193, that's our 55 grain full metal jacket, known for popping steel. Polyethylene is good at stopping it. And then we have M855A1, that is the U.S. Army's current ball round all the way down to basics. Got a copper core and a very large, hard arrowhead steel tip. We've got a 22-inch TC compass with a Turbo T3 up front. So this is maximum real-world velocity. Then the R, yar matey. And that's it, folks. You guys could definitely see that easier than I could, but this plate is a giant mess. We've got hits of M193 here, all through here, then the M855A1, 1, 2, and 3. At this point, there's nothing left to plate. Place those bets in the comments below. Hey, no pass-throughs, folks. Oh, there's the rest of the plate. I'll get this backer off here during the teardown and confirm, but very impressive. This design is well known, you know, Alumina rectangle tiles on polyethylene, and it can stop quite a bit of threats. However, I would say it needs a lot better construction, you know, laminating layer, better adhesives between the backer and the strike face, but it did what it was supposed to do. Can't discount it for that. Paging Dr. Matt to surgery. Paging Dr. Matt to surgery. Now for a fan favorite, the teardown. That's where we rip this plate apart to the best of our ability and see what the guts look like. And I will say, the harder it is for me to get your plate apart, that usually means the better constructed it is. Here is our backer, 100% pure polyethylene through and through, the white stuff, confirmed. There are no penetrations. I apologize about the sun. I measured that around 470 thousandths. It does appear to be pressed. It's not easily thumbed through, but it did start to delaminate a little bit right there. Otherwise, I would say it's fairly good polyethylene. Not too shabby. Here's what's left of some of our ceramic tiles, Alumina, as mentioned, 406 thousandths thick, not too bad. Standard for Alumina. Usually that can be a little thicker. Then here is our cover. There is no drop face foam. Maybe there's a little bit, it's kind of hard to see. I would say, okay, there's a little bit of foam. Here is that non-ballistic edge that I'm talking about. That is foam in this case. This side was 1 inch. This was 1 inch as well down here. This was 3/4 of an inch. And some more up there. So you can see that this plate is lighter than average because there's less ceramic there. And that's about all there is on this plate. Let's wrap this one up, guys. Well, folks, there you have it. I would consider this Mira Safety Level 4 plate pretty much a budget-oriented plate. Very similar in construction and durability to like our LA Police Gear Level 4 plates that use the aluminum rectangle tiles and our standard polyethylene backer. I would like to see some improvements on this. You know, we need more adhesive. We need some kind of laminating layer to keep all those tiles together longer. But in retrospect, this plate did everything that level 4 is supposed to stop. Is just 1 round of M2 armor piercing, and it stopped 3. With all that being said, it's time for me to get the heck out of here. But at the end of all my videos, I take a moment to thank all those who help make these possible, because there's a lot that goes into them. Number 1 is my family. My wife is behind the camera running it today, helping us do some cleanup here, along with my son, who I think walked by. Number 2 is my Patreon, Subscribe Star, and YouTube channel members. I have a little campsite link in the description below. Various different ways to either support the channel or contact me if you have any questions. You know, I have Instagram, Facebook, or different types of affiliate and discount codes that earn me a sales commission. And what I do with those is I put those right back in the channel. M2 armor piercing is like $4 a round. Number 3 is Bulletproof Zone. In full transparency, sent me that plate to destroy with no strings attached. And of course, number 4 is you all for watching. Until next time, I'll catch you at the range.